Might as well let the music keep playing since it's our last game, huh? Oh, well, thank you for joining me today, a Ravery Sports podcast today for fans like me. Thank you for joining us here. Obviously, apparently that's it. Our last game. Ravens were defeated today down at the Camden Yards down there at M&T Bank. 17-10 was the final of that game. Chiefs win over the Ravens. Chiefs are actually going to the Super Bowl next in 2 weeks. Ravens were eliminated in the AFC Championship game today downtown in this game. So let's go over the business first. We're all feeling a little sorry here, not so good, but we're going to go forward here as the Ravens are sure they will in the offseason. Business. Harris Legal Shield 2424 is our live stream to talk about Harris Legal Shield. Definitely, that is my business here. Where if you are a business owner, definitely next week check out our live stream as we go ahead 2424. That's next Sunday at 3:00. So definitely check us out. If you are a business owner and you do have legal issues that come up in your business, we will be happy to go over that. We'll be going over those things that you can get in our live stream. Genesis Notary Services, that is on President's Day 2/19/24 at 12:00 is our notary service. If you live in the Shenandoah Valley, check it out. I will be sending that in a couple of groups there, so more people be able to see it. Anything that you have as far as legal issue, notary issues, or anything like that, we will notarize the documents. Our expertise and your documents would be happy to go ahead and get that squared away for you. And we will still be doing our Super Bowl Sunday stream. That is it'll be at 4:00. So we're not going to do a super long stream, obviously. Now that the Ravens aren't in it, we aren't going to do the whole game. But we are going to be there Super Bowl Sunday. Also to ravorisports.company.site. It's at the bottom of the screen. Well, we didn't win. That happens. Hasn't happened much this year. So what happened in this game? So let's talk about the offense first. That is about as bad as the offense looked, I think, in large part all season. Not able. It seemed like it didn't look super dysfunctional to me. Even though they only scored 10 points. I mean, not the fantastic rate that they've been doing, but it just looked like, man, if you guys saw the movie years ago, Any Given Sunday, they talk about this, and I talk about this in life a lot of times, just an inch away, just that inch, the inches you need are all around you, just hair out of some of those deep passes, the deep pass, not there, right out of Beckham's hands, right out of his hands, right out of just Jay Flowers losing that fumble. Right, I mean, that was super. I thought he got in looking at it with the naked eye. Replay showed it that it was knocked out. So just those things as well. Lamar with the fumble. That didn't help. Obviously, got the ball stripped out of his hands. Deep late interception. I thought that was his worst play of the game. Bad decision. 3 guys around him. Threw the ball deep a lot. I thought they were forcing him deep a lot, and he threw deep a lot. So again, I don't think Lamar was terrible in this game, but the guy on the other side was just tremendous in this. No real run game today. They didn't really do much on the ground except for Lamar scrambling. Gus Edwards didn't have it much. I don't think we saw Dalvin Cook. If he did play, I don't think he played. I missed it. Mostly Justice Hill in this one because they were looking to really throw the ball. They didn't really want to run the ball, I think, near Chris Jones. I think that had something to do with it. So, but they really didn't run the ball at all in the traditional sense. I have to look at the stat sheet here, but I don't think. I mean, if they had in this game, Gus Edwards had 20 yards Justice Hill at 3 yards. That ain't going to work. You're a running team. You need to run the ball more than that. They just didn't. They just looked off step throwing the football. They just looked a little off step running the ball. Credit the Chiefs defense for that. So they just looked not in sync at all with that. So that's a thing where they just didn't look a step off. But it wasn't a whole lot. It really just was a one step. Not good enough in this. The tight ends, I thought Andrews come and played a little bit. Beckham didn't really play much at all. I thought that was fascinating considering he was pretty much the number one receiver at the beginning of the year. He pretty much played the fourth quarter, I think, only to give him a spark because they were sputtering a bit. So Beckham really didn't play much in this game. Played decent enough when he did play. I think in the offseason that's going to be addressed. I think what teams started to do is take Flowers away. And I know Andrews didn't play a lot down the stretch, but I think that's going to be addressed. That's something that they're definitely going to look at in the offseason about playing, getting maybe more production because they didn't have a lot of production today at the wide receiver position today. I think that was a thing. Our defense, talk about that. Defense, I thought, did about as good a job as you can do on Mahomes for most of the game. Early is when they lost it. I was in shock. This was a mistake. Early, you didn't double Kelsey. You got to do that when you're playing Kansas City. They were playing zone. He was just, I mean, that was pretty much all they had offensively. Had you not done that early in the game, you would have really been successful. So that was a very, very, very bad decision early. Kelsey and them, Kelsey, Mahomes, that was the thing. You got to double Kelsey. That touchdown pass Mahomes made, the first one, oh man, that was about as good a throw as you'll ever, and that's Pat Mahomes. So you say that all the time with him. That was about as good a throw as anybody could make as far as throwing a football. So that was fantastic stuff from Pat Mahomes, that early throw. I thought the overall defense, I mean, they had 2 sacks. They hadn't been getting the sacks at the rabbit pace that they've been getting it, but I don't think it was bad. Here's what I loved about the game. Physical and chippy, both sides. Chiefs came in with the chip on their shoulder. All they heard about was how good the Ravens defense was, how physical they were, how they hit them, how they hit, and the Chiefs weren't having it. They were really, it was a lot of fights, a lot of flags. There wasn't, when they started out with no flags, the chippiness kind of continued. The refs started throwing flags. I thought the officiation, the game was pretty much well officiated. Outside of one really call Mahomes got, that call on Javen Clowney. I didn't agree with the announcers. That was kind of a bologna sandwich, 15 yards that they gave him. But I thought the game, for the most part, was pretty much well officiated, well played on both sides. Chippy. The Chiefs came in and say, hey, we're not going to be bullied by you guys. We're going to come in here and we're going to be physical with you guys. And I really took that away a lot from it. They wanted to match the Ravens' physicality in this one. And that's definitely what they tried to do. A lot of talking from Chelsea, Travis Kelsey, a couple. Roquan was talking as much as I've seen him. Zay was talking as much as I've seen him. Kyle Hamilton with it was really chippy on both sides. So I thought both sides were really physically going at it. So that was a good thing. The Ravens, I thought the Chiefs matched them, but I thought the Ravens didn't back down either. I thought it cost them with flags. I thought they got some of these flags. That they got the second guy. They got Van Noy. A couple of flags were bad, but I don't think they were doing that bad as far as the game. So this game was physical and chippy. Only 2 sacks on defense. So I say that was more than he's been getting. But for the Ravens to be successful, any quarterback, and I don't care how good he is, you need to take him to the ground consistently. Especially when you have a great one like Mahomes, you got to take him to the ground. 2 sacks, not a lot. And the things I said all season about the Jadeveon Clowney, even though he had 1 of the sacks, overrunning the pocket. The guy like Mahomes, he's just going to step up, go around, screen you. That's kind of what they did a lot. They did enough to move the ball to win the game. That they had the Bucker field goal. I will say this. This one obviously really sucks because we had the better football team. There's no question about it. Outside of 15 and 87 on the other side. I don't think there's any question about it. You had a better defense than they had. You had a better run game than they had all season. You had better line play than they had all season, pretty much. You had certainly better safeties. The safety play was great. The corners I thought were really good. It was like Marlon went down again, didn't get a chance to play. I think he tried to go, and he needs a whole offseason for that hammy. But hey, I talked about this in the main podcast this week, the Michael Jordan factor with Patrick Mahomes, right? Whenever you have Michael Jordan on your squad, whenever you have a Kobe Bryant on your squad, whenever you have a LeBron James on your squad, whenever you have a Tom Brady, whenever you have a Joe Montana, a John Elway, you got a shot. And that's exactly what happened. He did enough to win. They did enough to win. I thought the Ravens didn't play even that badly in this one, but they made little mistakes and they capitalized. They scored enough early, and that was all she wrote. I would say this Chiefs defense, much better than I thought it was. I got to admit wrong on that. Their corners are sensational. Trent McDuffie and Snead, almost nothing. I mean, other than Flowers with the long passes, that was about all they got all game. Underneath stuff was done. The tight end, the intermediate stuff, Lamar had to look deep all game. They couldn't get anything intermediate. They were challenging everything. No real yak, even with the long passes. So there were, that's the way it went. Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. So we're going to start our off-season stuff here. We are going to be broadcasting on Super Bowl Sunday. We are going to go live on that. It's terrible what happened. And the Ravens, going forward, we will see what happens this offseason. There's going to be some changes, obviously. I think changes they need to make to go forward. It's terrible that they didn't go to the Super Bowl. I'm really anxious to see how Lamar reacts from this. I really am. That was my first thought. How does he react to this? He played all season so brilliantly with the chip on his shoulder, and to come up short, I think from minute one next season, he's going to have a huge just chip on his shoulder all season long. So let's see how Lamar reacts. Let's see how the fans react. Thank you for joining us all season on the Ravery Sports podcast for fans like me. Like and subscribe right now. Those of you that are watching, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell all your friends to go watch the Ravery Sports podcast. Thank you for joining us. We will see you on the podcast on Wednesday. Have a good night.